he started traveling more often. And I'm like, this is not okay, Sonja. Like, what you're feeling is not healthy, and this is not good. And all of that was traced back to my daddy issues. The one man that loved me, betrayed me, hurt me. You understand? Didn't love me. Like, I wasn't good enough. I didn't matter. It's all those thoughts that led up to these insecurities.
Yeah.
And I remember, you guys, this is a very hard conversation, especially for a woman who has never felt this before, all this insecurity.
Yeah, because you've always been the strong, independent, like it's all on me. And
that's right. Yeah. So I remember this kept coming up, and you came home, and I finally opened up to you.
Yeah.
And this was after a few times.
That was that moment,
leaving.
Right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And we were in the bedroom. We were upstairs. And I opened up. And I told you
how you were feeling.
How I was feeling.
Yeah.
And at that time, Miguel lashed out at me.
I was getting angry.
Yep. And the first thing I thought was, he's doing something. Why are you so angry? If you're doing nothing, why are you so angry? So what?
Dude, that was such a crazy ass moment.
And when he was like, what? Like, everything was like I do is for you and the kids.
But it was almost like it stopped like mid-sentence.
There was a pause. Yeah, there was a pause. Yes.
And then it was at the same exact moment that you were kind of thinking the same exact thing about your thoughts and how you were feeling.
Yes.
And what was happening was you started thinking about all your traumas from the past, all your daddy issues, and how they all affected you and how that played into, like, when I would leave out of town and all your insecurities. And then I was thinking about how when I was a little kid, like, if you've listened to the podcast, all I ever wanted was a family. I wanted to be together. And that's why when you were talking about earlier in the podcast, the traumas that, or the triggers in the beginning of our relationship, or I think maybe I was talking about like the age difference and how you would bring up divorce, and I would get mad then too. Like when you would start bringing that stuff up, I would get pissed off. And like I said, we didn't communicate well, but there was one time that we were going through that, and you said to me, I just need reassurance. Like when I was getting pissed off, you were just like, I just need reassurance. And I don't know why, but for some reason that stuck with me. And I kind of thought about it, and it didn't happen right away. Like we would keep having the arguments about the age difference and the divorces and all this stuff. And I would get angry, but then I would think about, like, she needs reassurance. And then,
what we mean by that, because some people really need to understand, the age thing was another pain point, you guys. You guys got to get this.
And your family didn't help.
Point.
Your family didn't help all the time, because they would say things about our age difference and stuff like that.
Yeah. But that was a pain point, you guys, for me. That was a trigger. I should have listened to it back then, but I wasn't as developed. Like I wasn't working on myself as much back then. But that there was a pain point. The reason why I was so insecure with our age was because I'm thinking to myself, he can, get a younger girl.
Well, everybody,
younger girls are always around him. It's, again, that insecurity. That was a pain point, but I did not jot it down. I didn't recognize it at that time.
Maybe it's like thinking about the work thing in all relationships and then divorce anyway. So that's a good reason right there. Right. It's like, but yeah, all these things.
But let's talk about this reassurance really quick, because I had this and I asked you to reassure me, because there were times where I would feel like insecure. I would feel a certain way. And during this time, like when we had that realization that the reason why I was feeling sick to my stomach when you would leave had to go back to my daddy issues. And you recognize that the reason why you were lashing out was because growing up with your dad, all you wanted was the family. All you ever wanted was to have that family. And now you got that family. And here I am telling you, what are you doing?
And not only that, but there will be times like we've talked about and we've joked, like, yes, when I go on a trip, it is fun and I do have a good time. But a lot of times, especially probably on that trip, I wasn't looking forward to leaving. I didn't want to leave the family. I didn't want to be like, I was kind of dreading packing my shit and taking off, because I want to be home. And when you were getting upset with me and I would be thinking about it, I would get pissed off. But because we had gone through all that stuff in the past, and I remember that you had told me like that you need the reassurance, it helped us get through that.
So and what I mean,
the reassurance was like back then with the age difference and the divorces, like you told me that you just needed me to reassure you. So I was like, you know what? Look at everything. Look at all the things that we've done. Look at the things that we've been through. Look at what we've built. I'm not going anywhere. Like, it's us. You know what I mean? We committed to each other. We're going to do this thing. I'm not going anywhere. That's the reassurance that you were looking for. But what I realized was that when I would get pissed off, because I'm like, how could you even think that? All I want is this and this and that. It's just adding fucking harsh energy to bad energy. It's just bad energy on top of bad energy.
Right.
You know, where if I just reassured you, it would help change the energy.